This just in. This is Murph Dirksen reporting from the YMI News Washington Bureau. We have just been informed that our space delegation is about to land on the planet Quirdmut. We are expecting to receive a live transmission momentarily from our YMI News team on board the Quirdmutian vessel. With me once again is Dr. Star Burstling from NASA. Dr. Burstling, it is beyond comprehension how they are able to transmit audio-visual messages from that distance with such unbelievable speed. How do you explain it?
Truthfully, we can't explain it. We have spoken at some length to their people, and they have agreed to try to teach us the science of it. But evidently the process is so far beyond us that we will first have to learn some very advanced spatial mathematics before we will be able to fully comprehend the process. They have landed a scientific expedition vessel on the grounds of NASA, and we are working with their scientists out of that vessel. I can tell you, Mr. Dirksen, it is positively unbelievable, and our heads are reeling over all the expanded knowledge we are receiving.
Amazing! But I am now being told that the transmission is coming through. Let's listen in as Chase and Lilac describe this amazing event firsthand.
Well, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Chase Storyman here with Lilac Helowitz, representing YMI News. Another moment in history is about to be made. We have been informed that we will be landing on the planet Quirdmut in just a moment or so.
That's right, Chase. From our ship, we could see the glow of the uranium-based planet grow larger and larger the closer we got. It really is mesmerizing.
Well, would you look at that? We've already landed, and once again, I didn't feel a thing. Did you?
No, not a thing. Amazing. Oh, here comes our delegation now. It looks like we're all ready to disembark.
We've been given the itinerary, and it looks like the people of Quirdmut have planned quite a welcome.
I must admit, Chase, as the outer doors are opening, my heart is pounding with excitement.
I know what you mean, Lilac. I feel it too. But we better stand aside for a moment so the delegation can exit first. You know, protocol and all that.
Oh, yes, right.
There they go. The first people from Earth to ever step foot on the planet Quirdmut. What an incredible moment! I see that everyone has learned the proper Quirdmutian greeting. There's much hopping and waving of hands and fingers in the air, an exclamation of the word, Gump. An odd welcome, to say the least, but I must admit it seems to be a most sincere one. I am feeling quite moved, actually.
I agree, Chase. Oh, isn't that Senator Manley's aide, Forrest, gomping next to Lickham?
Yes, I believe it is, Lilac. Speaking of Senator Manley, look at him. It appears that he's finally managed to read the entire manual. He's hopping and gumping with the rest of them.
Oh, everyone seems to be on the move now. Let me consult our itinerary. Ah, yes. It seems we are all going to their major assembly building to hear welcome speeches and such, followed by a big banquet in our honor. We better get out there. We don't want to miss the bus.
Bus?
Well, whatever it is.
YMI News. Transport vehicle. That's what it's called. Honestly, I don't know what gets into that woman sometimes. And she calls herself a professional. Professional, what? What is it? Oh, my. I didn't realize the microphone was still live. Excuse me. And so, everyone boarded the transport vehicle and were taken to the Great Hall for a rather large welcoming ceremony. Let's listen in as Chase and Lilac are now making their report.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I must say, I have heard many political speeches in my day, but never did I dream of listening to this exchange of welcome between beings from two entirely different planets. Fwat, the supreme leader of Quirdmut, was so very gracious. His statement as to how serious their problem was with regard to their need for fertilizer, and the fact that we on Earth were just full of it, was very touching. Earlier, our Lilac Helowitz was able to get an interview with Fwat. Lilac, can you fill us in?
Yes, indeed, Chase. The Supreme Leader is a very interesting individual. I asked him what he thought about the political events that transpired on Earth since his people made contact, and if he had any plans to visit our president, Trojan, on Earth anytime soon. Here was his response.
Boy, Canute, and Rudigan were very forthcoming with regard to the behavior patterns of your former president, Thinkin' Quite a humorous name, that. It would seem that former President Thinkin' was discovered to be a very self-serving individual, much in keeping with the meaning of his name. I have spoken to your President Trojan on our intergalactic communication device. I find him to be a genuine individual. I look forward to visiting your planet and meeting President Trojan. President Trojan has stated that he would like to visit Quirdmut. It is good that you are able to make use of our gunk. Foyt is on your planet now, arranging for delivery to your people there. Once again, your planet has been most helpful. I look forward to a long and pleasant relationship.
Just as an aside, Chase, I have to tell you that those pauses you heard were when he raised his arms and wiggled his fingers each time he said the name Thinkin'. As you know, that is the way they laugh. I have learned that they really do get a good laugh at that name here. As we've been told, on Quirdmut, Thinkin' means one who amuses himself with his own reproductive organs. If you ask me, I think the name fits Arno Thinkin' quite nicely. On another note, tomorrow we will be going to see some of their farm fields to see how successfully their nourishment source is growing now that they have the use of our spent uranium, or growing substance as they call it. After that, we will be visiting one of their gunk storage areas. Gunk has been found to be an exact chemical match to our oil. Needless to say, President Trojan was extremely glad to hear of their overabundance of that substance and their strong desire to get rid of it and get it to us. And before we leave this amazing planet, we and the rest of our delegation will be visiting one of their favorite night spots for some relaxation and entertainment. I really look forward to reporting on that.
As do I, Lilac. Thank you for that report. Well, I see that dinner has begun, so if you will excuse us, ladies and gentlemen, I believe Lilac and I will sign off for the moment so that we too can partake. This is Chase Storyman along with Lilac Hellowitz for YMI News.
This is Lilac Hellowitz reporting. Earlier today, Chase and I visited the growing fields for the nourishment source that the Quirdmutians eat. They grow many different types of crops here. Needless to say, they all glow. One in particular grows 6 or 7 feet tall. They call it Wurfel. We're told that it is a real favorite if prepared properly. In order to harvest it, they have to tie themselves to their harvesting machine so that they can catch it in midair while it is spinning. They have to catch it in midair. If it hits the ground, it goes bad immediately and is no longer edible. Strange. After that, we visited a processing plant where they are storing a huge amount of the substance that they call gunk. I'll let Chase explain. Chase?
That's right, Lilac. We went to the Egaweswar plant, where they process all of their trash and waste materials, including sewage. It seems that when they reduce this stuff down, it turns into nothing other than what we know as oil. They call it gunk. They are positively drowning in the stuff. They've been trying for some time to figure out a way to get rid of it, or at least alter its composition into something useful, but they've had no success. They are really pleased that we can take it off their hands. It is my understanding that OPEC is doing everything in its power to try and prevent us from being able to take delivery. They have petitioned the UN for sanctions on the United States, but the UN is having trouble finding anything in their charter that allows for sanctions against intergalactic trade. Pardon the pun, but it's turned into quite a sticky subject. Back to you, Lilac.
Thanks, Chase. Great report. Well, we're going to be experiencing the nightlife of these lovely people in an hour or so. We have all been looking forward to seeing how beings of another world enjoy their downtime. So if you will excuse us, we'll now be heading off to get ready for this evening's festivities. This is Lilac Hellowitz signing off for now.
News. And just when everything seemed to be going so well, it appears we are about to let our two senators loose in the relaxed atmosphere of an otherworldly entertainment facility with accompanying unknown intoxicants. What could possibly go wrong? Find out next time on the Quirdmut Report.
This adventure was written by Saperstein and Murway and sponsored by TLCscripts.com.